I want you to ask yourself something. How does this embryo grow a nervous system? How does it know what to do? What's the intelligence behind it? Well, my friend, this is the same intelligence that's telling your heart to beat right this second, that's telling your stomach to digest food without you being conscious of it. This is what we call the subconscious. Our subconscious mind is connected to an infinite intelligence. It's amazing how God works. Did you know the 7 deadly sins are 7 blocked chakras? And a sin is not an action. You have an etheric energy body. Emotions are energy in motion. If you feel any of these emotions, you waste the etheric life force that's feeding your body. These emotions can quite literally aid you because your body's being fed by this life force. Sin is not an action, but a force that you cultivate within yourself that disrupts the life force within you. Now, I'm not saying that you go out and work on these chakras. These chakras are a result of your own mind. If you gain mastery over your mind, your emotions will fall in place. Work on removing these things from your mind. Thoughts create emotions and emotions create actions. One last thing, the church is scamming you. Sin is not an action. The devil is not a real character. These things are all inside of you. Allegories and myths to represent aspects of your psyche. Symbolism Masterclass is now available, but it's closing soon. Lucifer is Venus. Lucifer in the Bible is the son of the morning, or the morning star. Just before the sunrise every morning, Venus shows up. Venus is the morning star. The 7 planets are 7 spiritual forces that create the physical universe. Saturn rules the roots. The sun rules the stem. Jupiter rules the fruit. Mercury's the messenger, the intelligence behind the tree. The moon governs the leaves. And Venus governs the beauty, the looks, and the smell of the tree. That's why the sigil of Lucifer is the visual field, because Lucifer or Venus governs the visual aspect of reality. That's why he's known as the light bearer or the false light. Because this world is the false reality, the false light. And the false light can trick you into materialism, pulling you away from your true spiritual form. Lucifer is a metaphor about your consciousness falling for the material plane. The physical world is a veil which can turn you evil, because you are not from here. The matrix is keeping you in love with the material plane, which leaves you feeling soulless and empty inside. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Every religion has a sacred river. For the Egyptians, it's the river Nile. For the Christians, it's the Jordan River. This river is the human spinal cord. The brain produces cerebrospinal fluid through the pineal and the pituitary gland. When the moon enters your sun sign, the cerebrospinal fluid falls down the spine every month to regulate the systems of the body. Jesus was in Nazareth with Joseph and Mary. Joseph the pineal, Mary the pituitary. Jesus then travels down the Jordan River, your spine, and goes to Bethlehem, your sacrum bone. Joseph and Mary are waiting for Jesus' return, which is the brain waiting for the oil to return back up the spine. And when Jesus returns back up the Jordan River, the spine, to Joseph and Mary, he's crucified in Golgotha, which translates to a place in the skull, at the age 33, because there are 33 vertebrae on the back of your spine. So this process of Jesus is symbolic of raising the cerebrospinal fluid back to your brain. This process activates dormant parts of the brain that were never activated before, making the brain process information quicker and working more efficiently. The whole Bible is a spiritually encoded text on how to reach the higher human potential. The Symbolism Masterclass opens tomorrow. There are limited spaces. If you look at the Matrix, Neo's plugged in on the back of his neck, right into the reptilian brain. This part of the brain doesn't think, just reacts. It's all about survival, running on pure instinct, just like everyone trapped in the Matrix. When Neo is unplugged, he's freed from the reptilian brain. His name Neo represents the neocortex, the part of the brain that allows critical thinking, learning, and expansion. That's the real way of escaping the Matrix, overcoming fear, breaking free from the programming, and activating the higher consciousness. Neo worked at a place called metacortex for a reason. This is all about transcending the lower mind and mastering the self to the higher parts of the brain and human potential. Why is it the ancients were so obsessed with these mythical creatures? A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. This is the ancient Sumerians. A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. Even ancient Christians are seen with the same symbolism. We even see this on the tarot card as well. The lion is Leo, the man is Aquarius, the eagle an old symbol for Scorpio, and the bull is Taurus. In esoteric teachings, they teach you that you have 4 bodies, not 1. You have a physical body, an emotional body, a spiritual body, and a mental body. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the physical body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. Aquarius is an air sign, which is the mind. These ancient creatures were not real, they're symbolic, and they're showing you the 4 bodies of the soul. Our soul is incarnated into these 4 separate bodies. Hence why Jesus has the 4 Gospels. This mythical creature is not a mythical creature, but a symbol of your soul. The mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, and the spiritual body. The bull, the ox, the man, and the lion, all in one creature, which is the soul incarnated into the 4 bodies. This is why the earth symbol is a cross and with the 4 sections and a circle. I think this is going to change how we see ancient civilizations. They knew the sacred science of the soul. Jesus never died on a cross. It's a symbolic story. Jesus took 5 wounds on the cross and then he ascended to heaven. The 5 wounds represent the 5 senses. These are the 5 ways the soul interacts with matter. In order to reach your higher consciousness, you have to sacrifice the desire of the 5 senses, detaching from the material world, so that we can ascend to our higher consciousness. To prove this, the Bible says the flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God in Corinthians. The body cannot enter heaven, which means your emotion, your mind, and spirit can, which proves heaven is a state of consciousness now. This is why Jesus says, take no thought 5 times in Matthew. Take no thought is meditation. 5 to turn off the 5 senses, so that we can connect with the higher consciousness. The word Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving Earth. The whole Bible is an allegorical, spiritual ascension toolbook. This book will help you understand this. Freemasons call themselves traveling men. They move from the west to the east. West, where the sun dies. East, where the sun rises. Symbolic of rising from darkness to light, from death to rebirth, from survival to creation. We've been programmed to stay in survival mode, money, bills, stress, and daily grind. But the true power of the mind isn't just to survive, it's to create. Why do you think the most powerful people, builders of empires, industries, are Freemasons? Because they understand self-mastery. They don't just build structures, they build powerful minds. In Freemasonic paintings, you'll see the images and symbols of tools. These tools are not for construction, but for the transformation of the inner self. They represent the mastering of thought, emotion, and consciousness, building a strong mind, because a chaotic mind cannot create. West to east, left brain to the right brain, logic to creativity. It's all symbolic. Master your mind and you master your reality. Your soul is trapped in the physical dimension if you can't imagine. Imagination is not physical. You can't touch it. It's not made of atoms. It exists in a higher dimension of consciousness. Everything starts in the imagination before it becomes a physical reality. For example, Diddy's house. The design was in someone's vision, mental screen before it was a physical reality. People think that their third eye is open because they feel energy and now they're awake. That's not it. The third eye is your inner screen. If you can't vividly picture a red apple in your mind, you're cut off from the 4th dimension. Activating the third eye means unlocking what Freemasons call the spirit vision. Freemasons know this. They call it the astral plane. Don't you think it's crazy how if you use your imagination nowadays, people say, oh, you're just using your imagination, and they call you crazy? Everything in this dimension was pulled out of the 4th dimension, the imagination. A vision first, then the physical world was just the effect. If you want to reconnect to the 4th dimension, comment ebook and I'll send you a free guide on how to do so. Satan is Saturn, 666, the mark of the beast. On the North Pole of Saturn, you have the cube. Add up all the sides, you get 6 points, 6 triangles, 6 sides, 666. We live in a soul system, not a solar system. We start in the stars and then we incarnate through Saturn. Saturn materializes our soul into the 666 carbon suit. All life forms are based on the bonding properties of carbon. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, 666. The body is the beast. The Bible tells you Satan is the god of this world, and he has blinded the minds of those who do not believe. Because when our soul incarnates through these 7 celestial spheres, we forget who we are before this lifetime. The symbol for Saturn is even showing you this. All of the planet symbols are made out of the Holy Trinity, the sun, the moon, and the cross for Earth. The Saturn symbol is the Earth cross and the moon crescent. Earth is matter, moon is mind, sun is soul. The Saturn symbol is showing you Earth over moon. matter over mind when it should be mind over matter. We incarnate into this world so we can restrict our mind, because in the dimensions of the mind and imagination we can think and it comes into manifestation instantly. But this plane limits us. Sega Saturn is a game, the Nintendo GameCube. This is why we say think outside the box, because you are not your physical body. And this is the box they're trying to trap us in, the physical dimension. The human body is liquid crystal. There are CIA documents which reveal that. Radios use crystals to pick up frequencies and turn them into sound. Your body works the same way. Your pineal gland has crystalline structures that act like an antenna. Your body is a radio, tuning into the infinite stream of consciousness, the mind of God. We are all God in human form, experiencing life through the illusion of separation. God created the 3D world to experience himself instead of the oneness. You don't need to go to church to connect with God. You are God. The key is going within through breathwork, meditation, and inner awareness. Religion was made to externalize this truth, to keep you away from your own divine power. Don't make this mistake. When I woke up spiritually, I went straight into chakras, energy work, and cleansing my aura. I thought this was the key, but I was wrong. The only thing that truly matters is mastering the mind. When you train your mind, you gain control over your emotions, your body, and your energy. You don't have to force your vibration to rise or try to balance your chakras. They naturally align when the mind is in check. Don't get lost in the external. Focus on your mind. Once you master that, everything else follows. Your spirit, your body, and your soul will fall into place. Freemasons are satanic according to Christians, yet King James, who commissioned the Bible, was a Freemason. He even wrote a book on demonology, what Christians call witchcraft. So they're believing a book which was written by a Freemason. We live in a scripted reality. The Bible has been altered to match the events playing out today, making it seem like a divine prophecy when it's actually a long-term plan. Revelation, it's not unfolding naturally, it was scripted by those in power. They've been following the plan for generations. So the question is, are you following the script or seeing through the illusion? Orgasms are ruining your life. When you release, you produce dopamine. Dopamine is the brain's reward system. When you release, you get a spike in dopamine, feeling amazing. This tells your body that you have achieved something. Then your dopamine levels plunge. If you have an orgasm every day, then you are tricking your brain and body that you have achieved something, because you're activating the brain's reward system. This is why you feel lazy, tired, and unmotivated to do anything with your life, because your body already feels accomplished and achieved something. When you stop watching these dirty websites, then your brain will start to seek dopamine in other things, like writing a book or making something out your life. Sex is the best possible feeling that the human body can feel. And if you experience this feeling every day, then you will numb yourself to the little things in life that you won't be able to enjoy, because you're giving yourself the epitome of feelings. When you stop watching porn and releasing, your life will change. They've lied to you about geometry. Every frequency has its own geometric pattern. Physical matter is just low vibrating energy at a specific frequency. Everything is vibration, vibrating on a specific frequency, which creates a different geometric pattern. Everything contains geometry. They tell you this is God's mathematical codes behind this reality. The true geometry is within you. Brain is an energy decelerator. Nothing around you is physical, it's energy, and your brain condenses it into a reality that you can interact with. Light enters the eyes, it turns into electricity and goes to the optic nerve to the visual cortex, and it creates an image in the brain. Therefore, you are not in the world is within your brain and body. You're experiencing a simulation by your nervous system. Therefore, geometry is actually your brain's mathematical codes on turning energy into matter. These geometric patterns is basically your brain's way of decoding energy. Nothing is outside of you and you are projecting this reality, the creator and the programmer. How to enter a meditative state instantly. Get present. Bring yourself into the moment by repeating affirmations. I am here right now. Nothing else matters. Say this for 5 minutes to anchor your awareness. 2. Shift your focus. Direct your attention to the back of the brain or your breath. The back of the brain does not think.
It's hanging around.
So this quiets the mind, allowing your consciousness to expand beyond the clouds of thought and connect with your true self. 3. Breathe with intention. Inhale deeply through the nose, filling your lungs completely. As you exhale, let your breath out slower than you took it in. in. Do this for 15 or 30 minutes and you'll naturally enter a meditative state. Never breathe through your mouth. This is for emergencies only, and this is what dogs do. Christians have been tricked. Jesus didn't ask to be worshipped. He wanted us to live by his teachings. Turning water into wine wasn't literal. Water is emotion. Wine is transformed emotion. We must transmute our negativity. Walking on water is no different than believing in Santa who drops off presents every year. It's meant to be emotional control. Walking on top of water, our emotion. The world is in chaos because we don't understand the hidden parables. We lack understanding, and this is why we have war, fear, division, and uncontrolled emotions. Stop worshipping. Start embodying his teachings. Belief alone won't save you. You must rise above the low mind. Jesus never existed. The Last Supper is astrology. Each body part is ruled by a zodiac. Aries the lamb rules the head, which is why he's on the head of the table. Taurus rules the neck. He has a very thick neck for Taurus the bull. The next sign is Gemini. Gemini is the two arms, the two twins. That's why his hands are up for the two twins. Next sign is Cancer the crab with pinchers. He's holding a knife for the pincher of Cancer. The next sign is Leo when the sun is powerful, radiant and summer. That's why he's showing dominance with a clenched fist and an elbow on the table. The next sign is Virgo the virgin. He's pointing that there's no Adam's apple. This is a woman of Virgo the virgin. Jesus is the sun, the light of the world, the risen savior, the Son of God. He's placed in a triangle to symbolize the sun's rays. One hand up for the daytime, one hand down for the taking away of the sun at nighttime. Libra is when the sun is balanced between summer and the winter. That's why Libra is the balanced scales, and the symbol is a half rising sun. That's why he's holding his arms out balanced. Next sign is Scorpio with this man pointing upwards. Scorpio is our reproductive sexual organs. He's pointing up because you must raise your sexual energy up to Aries. That's why Aries is an anagram for arise. They're in 4 groups of 3 because there are 3 months in each season. Luke, Mark, John and Matthew. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Jesus is the sun, which is our soul. Spring is our physical body. Summer is our spirit. Fall is our emotions. Winter. Ever wondered why graduates wear this hat? The hat is a square and a circle. The square created by the square. The circle created by the compass, which is the Freemasonic square and compass. The circle is eternal, no beginning, no end. The square creates the square, which is beginning and end. Spirit and matter, mind over matter, the compass over the square. But in this case, we have the square over the circle, which represents matter over the spirit. The graduation cap symbolizes dominance of matter over spirit, representing the conditioning imposed by Saturnic energy. Hence why it's a black cap for the black cube of Saturn. That's why judges wear a black robe, representing reinforcement and limitation. This is not a coincidence. Is university just conditioning to limit the human mind? The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the different body parts of your body. Anubis represents the tongue. He's a dog with the barking because the power of life and death is in the tongue. Falcon of Horus is the inner brainstem. Osiris, the god of death and the underworld. He represents the reptilian brain, hence why he's green and has reptiles next to him. The reptilian brain is when our consciousness exists in death because we don't think. Horus with the circle on his head represents the limbic system in the brain. Amun-Ra is the hippocampus in the brain. Ra is where we get RAM. Computer has a RAM for memory, and the hippocampus in the brain is all to do with memory. This is the Lamb of God. Thoth, the god of wisdom, the one who preserves the ancient wisdom. Ibis bird is the sternum, which is the chest, which contains the treasure, which is our soul, our heart. Our heart contains the sacred knowledge. Sternum protects the heart, the treasure. He preserves the wisdom. The Ankh is the portal into the physical world, the uterus. The Bible even tells you that animals are deeply symbolic. Job 12:7. Ask the beasts of the field and they will teach you, the birds of heaven and they will tell you. Because each animal represents a part of the human experience. Snakes represent the wave of energy. The Egyptians saw each body part had a specific role in the human experience. And these parts of our body are very sacred. If you want to learn more, then read the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. Elon Musk with the Omega symbol. What does this mean? Omega is the last letter of the Greek alphabet. It represents the end. This is the 24th letter of the Greek alphabet. Last year was 2024. This was the end. 2025 is the new beginning. These are just some of the codes that the elite speak to us through symbolism. Look at the dollar bill. The dollar bill has an omega on it, representing the last physical currency we will have before moving towards a digital currency. This show is Kendrick Lamar with the A on his chain with the American flag. This has a deep meaning no one has figured out. A represents Alpha, the beginning of the Greek alphabet. Alpha represents new beginnings. Omega represents endings, because it's the last letter of the Greek alphabet. At the end of the show, it said game over, because the old world is now over, and Kendrick Lamar held the ceremony, which is a ritual representing the new beginning of America. This is why the dollar bill has an omega on it, representing the end of fiat currency. This picture is deeply symbolic. Everything they do is code. Elon with the omega representing ending and him waving goodbye, and Trump, which is the new beginning, the alpha with his thumbs up, the new beginning of America. 2024, 24, the 24th letter of the Greek alphabet, omega, the ending. This was the last year. 2025 is a new beginning. Everything is going to be reset. This is just one of my lectures from the new Symbolism Masterclass. In this class, I will teach a limited amount of people every single occult and esoteric symbol one by one and show you real life events. This opens on the 19th of February, 8 p.m. GMT. Join my Telegram or my newsletter in my bio to secure your spot. The spots will go instantly. You will have to be quick. Your head has this spiral, which is the Fibonacci sequence, which comes from the rotating fields of magnetism. Sound creates magnetic fields create electricity. The sound of you talking creates torus fields, which permeates the whole of creation. Everything manifests as a torus field. Literally everything, including yourself. Your heart is a vortex, and the pulsing sound of it creates this electromagnetic torus field around your body. If you looked down on this electromagnetic field, you'd see the flower or the lotus of life, which is the Fibonacci sequence. This field spirals inwards into the head and out on the feet or the torso. If you look down on your head, this is why you see this spiral. It comes from all of the spiraling of your electromagnetic field coming in the head, which is the crown chakra. Look at the symbol for the crown chakra. It's the flower, which has the same pattern as this. Your spirit is a spiral, a spiraling electromagnetic field. The Fibonacci sequence connects the macrocosm to the microcosm, because this will go for infinity. This means you are a microcosm of the macrocosm. You are God made flesh. You are the universe. Is it just me, or does the world seem as if it's losing its colour? There's even been images of this taken in 2021 compared to 2023. Who remembers seeing the sun as a yellow ball of energy? Now we just have this white light. Like, what are they doing? Personally, I think this is the result of weather manipulation, geoengineering, EMF towers, and pollution. As a child, I remember sitting in nature and you would be covered in insects. Now, when you go into nature, you hardly see any. Let me know if you can relate in the comments. Emojis are demons. Demons are spirits. In magic, you use sigils to invoke spirits and demons. But what exactly is a spirit? A spirit is just a non-physical force or energy. Emotion is energy in motion. Motion is a spirit. Emojis are sigils which invoke specific spirits or emotions. This sigil invokes the spirit of happiness. The spirit invokes the spirit of frustration and anger. Just by looking at these emojis or sigils, they change energy in your consciousness. This is invoking energy within you. A demon is just a negative spirit, a negative emotion which possesses you, possesses your heart and your energy field, making you feel a certain way. You're an electromagnetic being with the power to invoke energy. You lot have been going crazy recently. We're nearly sold out on the Book of Wisdom. There is limited available. This cartoon shows you that you are far more than your physical body. Humanity has lost this ability to activate their spirit or the astral body, fully enslaving us in this physical plane.
Okay. Man, this is screwy. Maybe it's the can of beans we had for dinner. Looks, homey. Whoa! Oh, right.
Did you know doing this gesture is the Antichrist? Performing this produces the upside down cross. So you touch the head down to the heart, then tap both shoulders, which is cutting the connection between the head and the heart. It symbolizes cutting the connection between the mind and the soul. And the soul is pure love. You know when you hurt someone and you can feel that you've done something wrong inside your heart? That's because your soul is encoded with God's law of love. They don't want us connected with our soul intelligence, the intelligence within you that tells you the right thing to do at all times. This is why we say, follow your heart, and that Christ may dwell in your heart, because the heart is the brain for the soul, and the brain is the temple for the mind. The earth needs to connect more with their heart, because love is the unifying force that brings us all together. The Masonic compass is a compass and a square. The compass for curves, which is the heavens, the dome. Square for flat planes, which is the earth, which then generates the Masonic Royal Arch symbol. It also represents the earth, the sun, the moon, the black sun, and Polaris. These are the symbols for the elements. The earth element is the sun, the moon, the black sun, and the flat plane. The sun rotates inwards and then outwards to create the summer and winter seasons. Tropic of Capricorn, the equator, and the Tropic of Cancer. The sun spirals inward to create a small rotation, which is summer for the northern hemisphere, then spirals outward to create the winter for the northern hemisphere, and repeats this process. The constellations are fixed and they rotate around us, creating a giant clock. The sun tells the time of day, the moon tells the month, and the stars tell the year. The sun and the moon rotate around the magnetic North Pole. This is the plane of inertia, planet Earth, and the northern lights come from the center. The sun and the moon represent the principle of creation, male and female, the sun being electric male, the moon being female, which is magnetic. They know this knowledge, but you don't. They want you stupid and dumb and not knowing where you are, but it's okay. I generated this book so you can find out the truth and so you can feel a sense of well-being instead of being confused. Adam and God do not touch. Adam represents your physical avatar. God is in the brain because God is consciousness. If you look at the earth from above, you will see this pattern. You will also see it on the earth, and you will see it inside of you. This proves there is a microcosm and a macrocosm. All things are in all things. And when God said, let us make humans in our image, in our likeness, this refers to as us being a microcosm of God. Your external physical world is generated from your invisible mind. The phone, the buildings, the cars that you have were manifested from pictures within the invisible mind. You are a creator. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Humans possess an advanced consciousness which can take something non-physical and manifest it into a physical reality. Your invisible self is God. But you think you are the body, which is Adam, the lower self. The early Christian artwork depict God is in the brain. Heaven is upwards, which is the head. It's the top of the body. The earth represents heart. This is the midpoint between good and evil. And your heel is hell. We need to kill the lower nature of ourself and live off the higher parts of the body. When you do something wrong, you can feel it inside of you. But invisible intelligence is always guiding you. And all you have to do is reach out to God, to touch God, the invisible intelligence, and become the higher self. This symbolizes incarnation. Apples are torus field. Physical matter is a result of two opposing forces equalized on the plane of inertia, which is planet Earth, a flat plane. They want you to believe everything is physical when it's actually holographic. You descended from spirit to matter. You bit the forbidden fruit, the apple, the torus field, and incarnated into physical matter. The apple is the torus field, the home screen is the torus field. Apple Watch has the seed of life, which is a top-down view of a torus field. The word physical is phi cycle. The phi is the torus field. It's the cycle of the torus field. Earth, growth, decay, death, back into counter space, and repeat. Infinity symbol comes from the torus field, which is the number 8. God, Allah, Elohim adds up to 8, because in John 1:5 it says God is light. The torus field is one unit of light. Everything is created out of light. Life is light. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. John 1:4. The out force, male. The in force, female. The atom that creates this reality is dualistic, hence why everything has two sides, good, evil, fun and boredom. The torus field is red and blue. Why do you think everything's red and blue? Roses are red, violets are blue. You chose to incarnate into physical matter. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. Stars are portals that lead into the astral plane. This is why the word astral has star within it. As above, so below. Whatever happens in the astral happens in the physical. It's a mirror. And this is why the Masons have the 2 pillars. It represents the number 11. As above, so below. the mirroring effect of reality. And this is why astrology is so important, because it can foretell the future. The Bible even says this, and let there be light in the firmament of the heaven, and let them be for signs. This is why God says in Job, can you lead forth the Mazzaroth, which means 12 signs? Do you know the audience of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? The stars foretell the future on the earth. They rule over the earth. Above your head is a giant clock which foretells everything you need to know. A month is a month because the moon travels around the 12 signs every 28 days. The sun tells the time of day. Stars foretell the time of year. Every single one of you is born into a specific alignment into the stars and planets. This is why everyone is different, and this is why everyone is on a different path. By finding out your personal chart, you can figure out certain events in your life. If you want a reading, you can now get them on my website. The link is in the bio. The Jordan River is your spine. The 7 lamps in the Bible are the 7 chakras. Your brain's the Garden of Eden. The pineal gland is the throne of God and the gateway to heaven. The Pope's staff represents the spine and the 2 kundalini channels and the pineal gland. Salvation is salt. The brain produces a salt, a fluid which goes down the spine, which you must resurrect through your erectional energy back to the head, which is resh in Hebrew for head. By following the word of God, following your inner guide, you save your salt and you raise it. Once you do this, you then have the key into the kingdom of heavens, the realms beyond the physical, to access the dimensions within your mind. Also the Holy Grail, or the power symbol. In the Vatican, you have the pine cone, and this is the head. Is the Pope holding the pine cone. We are all God. There is no God outside of you. Everything is God. All religions were made to make you look outside yourself so that you can become powerless. All religions are corporations. It's all a scam to keep you asleep. Head is heaven, heel is hell. If your life is governed by power, food and lust, you're in hell. You have 3 brains, the gut, the heart and the brain. This is the temple of the Holy Spirit. This is the temple of God. God is consciousness. Now, if your consciousness is operating its life out of the gut region, you're in hell. Your life should be operated from the heart and the head. Matthew 6:10. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Your heart and brain are directly connected. Every thought you think in the brain produces an emotion felt in the heart. Whatever happens in heaven happens on earth. Heart rearranged is earth. Masons stand on the divided checkered board. This represents division because you have 2 heels. This is division, hell. You have 1 head. This is evenness, oneness, singularity. Heaven is even. This is why the Baphomet is male and female. Up and down, representing division. Matthew 18:9. It is better for you to enter life with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fire of hell. We need to balance the 2 hemispheres of the brain, balance the 7 energetic vortexes along our spine, and balance our spiritual and physical side of our beings. Nor shall they see here or see there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Do not look outside of you, do not look here or there. The God is within you, people. Luke 17:21. Religion is a scam. Jesus' life is a process that happens in the body. A sacred fluid is produced in the claustrum in the brain. When the moon enters your zodiac sign, the fluid comes down the spine to your sacrum bone, which is Jesus coming down from heaven to earth. The oil stays in the sacrum bone, which is Jesus dying for 3 days in the cave. If you preserve this oil by having an alkaline diet and saving your you-know-what energy, by activating the kundalini, you raise the oil back to the pineal gland, which electrically charges the physioluminescent crystals on the pineal gland and turns on 100% of the brain. Unless you are born again, you cannot see the kingdom of God. You are born again by activating 100% of the brain. When you raise the oil up the 33 vertebrae on the back of your spine, which is the 33 years of Christ. Jesus was crucified at Golgotha, which translates to a place in the skull. It's an internal process. This is why every religion has a sacred river, because the river is your spinal cord. It's also the stairway to heaven that Jacob saw in Genesis. Hence why he called the place Pineal, for I have seen God face to face in Genesis 32:30. Pineal is the pineal gland in the center of the brain, the seat of the mind. This is why Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness in John 3:14. He isn't playing with the snake in the woods, he's raising the kundalini. This is the snake. Jesus dying at 33 is symbolic from turning matter into spirit, turning to your spirit true form. Link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom. Jesus never existed. Jesus symbolizes the sun, with his 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs, 4 gospels for the 4 seasons of the sun. That's why he's called the risen savior, the light of the world, the Son of God. 7 days, 7 planets. They worship their God on Sunday because Jesus is the sun. Easter is actually called the Passover because this is when the sun passes the winter and enters Aries, when the sun springs things back into life, the summer. And this is when they eat lamb, because lamb is Aries, the ram. The sun dies on the Southern Crux constellation, the Cross, every year on the 22nd of December. On the 25th of December, it is born again, every year, because it moves 1 degree northward, bringing back the sun to the northern hemisphere. Jesus, the Son, was born a virgin every year, and this is why we celebrate Christmas. Horus, the Egyptian sun god, 12 disciples, born on the 25th, dead for 3 days and resurrected, did miracles and born a virgin. Same with Mithra. Judas stabs Jesus in the back and betrays him. The constellation Scorpio is a J for Judas, and when the sun hits Scorpio, this means the sun is now entering the winter, meaning it's going to die and become dead. So it's betrayed by the Scorpio, the constellation J. Here's Jesus walking on water. It's the sun. Freemasons always place the east at the top of their artwork and the north and south on the sides. This is because they understand the true cosmology of this realm, but you don't. North is the center of this realm. This is where all compasses point to because the Earth's electromagnetic field and all this energy centers at this point. It's the strongest point. South is anywhere that goes opposite from the center. So if you walk this way, that is south, and that is south, and that is south. West is when you go left around the magnetic pole. This is anti-clockwise. If you were here and started walking west, you would end up in the exact same spot. East is the clockwise turn around the center axis. So if you were here and walked east, you would end up in the exact same position. With that being said, east is the right turn, left is the west turn. They always show the ladder to the east. Why? Because the ladder is your spine, and the east means the right, which is the right hemisphere of your brain. In short, the right hemisphere produces a holistic view of reality. So this sees humanity as one unified consciousness. The left hemisphere breaks this down into individuals. This sees the trees, this sees the whole woods. So when Jesus says, cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and you will find fish, this represents cast your awareness into the right hemisphere and you will see the unification of the universe. You will see the higher self. This is the higher self. This is the ego. You will realize everything is connected and everything is all one. Use the code WISE20, all capital letters, for more information. Read this book. You do not see into reality. Light enters the eyes and the image is produced in the visual cortex. The world you see around you is actually within you. You are consciousness experiencing the program being ran by the central nervous system and the brain. There are 2 major systems in the body. The tree of life, the cardiovascular system, giving life to the physical body. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, the nervous system. You do not experience the external world. You experience electrical impulses on your nervous system, which gives your mind, your consciousness, the knowledge of good and evil. You are the Temple of Solomon, the temple of the Sol and the Mon, the sun and the moon, the soul and the mind. The sun is the soul, the moon is the mind. This is why we say lunatic. Luna is moon. And inside of your mind, you have a specific mood, which is moon. The soul system is within you. It's the 7 chakras, the 7 planets. The cycles of the sun being summer and winter happens within the body because you are a miniature world. In the summer, you feel better and you gain better ideas. In the winter, you feel less alive. I am you and you are me. It's a universe, a unite verse. Everything is one. We are all one consciousness, one mind, in separate physical bodies. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. You are not the body, you're the invisible intelligence. If you shut your eyes, you can feel your awareness in the center of the brain. You refer to this being as I. The letter I and the number 1 is one line. Because there is only one, and we are all the one expressed in different bodies. The Egyptians knew this. This is the one giving out the Ankh to all the different life forms. This is why 1 is the only true number. Everything goes up in ones. You look with the 2 eyes, and you see with the inner eye your invisible intelligence. Because the inner eye gives you the perception of what you're looking at. Everything is neutral. Everything is one. It's your mind's perception that gives it a positive or negative charge. Me and you are the exact same consciousness. Why do you think the golden rule is to treat others like you want to be treated? We are all mind. Men means mind in Latin. Jesus was known as the fisher of men. He wasn't fishing men, he was fishing minds. Bright minds that are worthy of knowing the truth. God exists within the highest realm of your being, your mind. If you constantly listen to your God intelligence, which is always telling you the right thing to do, this is how to become closer to God. You need to stop living off the body's desire and turn to the higher self, the higher realms of your mind. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. Turmeric is unhealthy, so is lemon and carrot. These foods were not created by nature. They were created in labs, genetically modified. None of these foods were here on the day of creation, which means they are unnatural to your body. Your body does not know what to do with them. Potato, matoke, and big bananas all contain starch. This will thicken the blood and cause clogs within your digestive system. All the foods that were here in the beginning were all alkaline. Our body needs to be in an alkaline state. When we consume acidic foods, this is when parasites and diseases can thrive. Once you move to the alkaline diet, you will never go back. This human health guide will tell you everything you need to know and everything you need to avoid to maintain optimal health. The solar system is a soul system. We started in the stars, then we incarnated into the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. You descended from spirit into matter. The soul luring system lures your soul deeper into matter, which are the lower three chakras. You are the mind and soul, not the physical body. If you die and your mind is still attached to these worldly physical things, you will want to reincarnate here. The body corresponds with the higher and the lower self. You need to get out of power, food, and you know what, into the higher chakras, so that your mind is not attached to the worldly things when you die from here. This is why they get you so addicted to clothes and all of these physical things. The fast food restaurants are red, orange, and yellow because they keep you here. You need to connect with your true divine self, which is inside of the pineal gland. This is the Holy Grail, your neck and head, because the Holy Grail out of the physical world and ascension is connecting with your true consciousness form. You need to be united, not divided. You need to turn the masculine and feminine energies into balance, because heaven has the word even in it. You have to become even because your consciousness has no gender. The devil is the deveil. You deveil yourself by having these mental addictions to the worldly things. The soul luring system is inside of you. You have to deveil yourself out of the 7 seals in the Bible. The 7 seals are the 7 chakras because they seal your true self. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. Stop wearing glasses. The longer you wear glasses and cover up your eyes, the thicker your glass gets because your eyes become worse. Your brain will adapt to the new thickness of the lens and the eye will start to work less. Your eyes are muscles. You need to train them to become stronger. You're blocking the sun's rays from getting into the eyes. Whatever is in your visual field goes into the brain, and then the brain will then affect the central nervous system. So whatever you see is having an effect on your whole body. This is why they don't want you looking at the sun anymore, because the sun's rays can actually heal the eyes and heal the body. This is why they promote sunglasses, because sunglasses block the sun from entering into your eyes and awakening your pineal gland and stimulating the body's electrical nervous system. So when you watch the solar eclipse tomorrow, you don't need to wear glasses, just watch it with your eyes. Jesus' death on a cross is metaphorical for us falling from the higher planes of consciousness into a material plane. We sacrificed all of the higher planes of consciousness only to experience the thin visible spectrum of light. This is the first dimension, the second dimension, and the third, length, height, and width. The cube is what gives birth to the material plane. So we are in the cube. This is up, down, front, back, left and right. This is why the Jews wear the cube and the Mecca cube, and there are cubes all around the world. Cube unfolded is the cross, which is the Jesus cross, the body, because our consciousness died when it came here, because we suffered a loss of the higher planes of consciousness. The universe is created out of light. Low vibrating light turns into matter. High vibrating matter turns back into light. We are human. Hu means light. Man is manifested. We are light manifested into matter. The Bible says we're born into sin. Sin is sign, which is time, because we're born into a material plane where time exists. However, the elites worship the material world. They want to rule the material world and keep your mind stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they teach you this and evolution. And this is why they give you the false atom. They've trapped your mind in materialism because they've taught you that the universe is only physical. Reptilians do not exist. It is metaphorical for using the reptilian part of our brain. The 3 parts of the brain correspond with the 3 parts of the body. If you're operating your life out of your gut, you're in hell, which is the reptilian animal state. Osiris represents the reptilian brain. This is why he's green. Top half of the body is the higher self. The lower half of the body is the lower self. If you're operating your life out of these lower 3 centers, this is hell. Instead, you want to use the higher brain, the neocortex, where critical thinking and rationality takes place. This is why Neo from the Matrix is called Neo, because he awakens and uses his higher brain. The devil and the angel on your shoulder is an internal battle between your higher and lower self. The devil has goat horns, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is a higher animal, which represents the higher self. Jesus and Satan, Horus and Set, the higher self and the lower self. Religion has externalized the truth so that you believe Jesus and Satan are outside of you. This is done so that you do not transmute all of the negative parts of yourself into positive and become the God. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. 13 adds up to 4. The number 4 is your fourfold nature: mental, emotional, etheric and physical. 4 seasons of the yearly cycle, 4 gospels. The cross is the 4. Jesus has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. He is the 13th because it represents human consciousness. We are all the universe experiencing itself. We are all Christ, we are all God. The 12 zodiacs go around us because they are the energies that influence our mind, body and spirit. 13 is not an evil number. The word sacred is scared because they want you scared of the sacred things so that you do not do your research. The Bible is filled with cryptograms, metaphors, allegories and astrological codes. Jesus is not God. We should not worship God. We should become the God self, the best version of ourselves. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Sex is sacred energy exchange. S is the serpent. The most powerful emotion a human can feel is the sexual desire. Serpent symbolizes sexual energy, which are the 2 kundalini channels which go up from the base of the spine to the brain. Tree of knowledge of good and evil is the brain, the spine, the 2 hemispheres of the brain, masculine and feminine, and the serpent is the kundalini sexual energy. The serpent is tempting you to release your sacred energy, which is the forbidden fruit the serpent tempted Eve to eat. Resurrection of Jesus is metaphorical. Res meaning head, erection is sexual stimulation. The resurrection is raising the sexual energy from the base of the spine to the brain, the pineal gland. This then gives you the ability to use 100% of the brain. You can transmute this energy into critical thinking or awakening your third eye. We have all been sexually programmed since we were young because they are trying to reverse the genders. When a male releases, his estrogen levels go up. When a female releases, their testosterone goes up. Hence why the LGBT flag is the upside down colour spectrum. Red should be first, it's the lowest vibrational colour. Ancient mythology, there's always stories about killing the dragon or the serpents. This is symbolic for killing the lower nature of yourself because the serpent is always tempting you to release your sexual energy. It's an internal battle. Physical versions of the Book of Wisdom are now available. The link is in the bio to get. What you will see here is the etheric energy blueprint behind an object. Even though a section have been cut off, the energy body is still present. This is why when people lose their limbs, they can still feel it present, because the etheric body can never be broken. This proves that we are not the body. You are the spirit inside of the body. If you don't believe me, you can literally do this exercise yourself to activate your bodies. This is called astral projection. It's using your mind to project your consciousness into the astral plane, the realm of imagination. This was talked about in the Bible when Jesus walks on water. It's a metaphor for astral projection. The water is the ether, the barrier between the physical and the spiritual planes. Before you do this, you need to make sure you're in a good, high vibrational mindset. Whatever frequency you are vibrating on, you will match within the astral planes. For example, if you are vibrating very low, you will meet beings, entities that are vibrating very low. This is what we call demons. Once you are in the right mindset, you need to lie down flat with no body parts touching. Rest every single muscle and be still as possible. Close your eyes, breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Focus your attention on the center of the brain, the place of the consciousness. You need to do this for at least 10 to 15 minutes until you are just left with an empty mind. Now you want to use your mind to imagine yourself pulling a rope up into the sky. Imagine yourself floating above your body. One thing that you must never do if you do successfully astral project is never look into the mirrors. The planets are not spinning balls in space. They are lights within the firmament. 7 planets give you the 7 days of the week. The Sunday for the sun, Saturn day for Saturn, Monday for moon. The physical world is made out of low vibrating light. 7 metals are the 7 planets. When the light of the 7 planets materialize, they give you the 7 metals. This is why they have the same symbol. They are actually 7 cosmic energetic bodies which influence our consciousness directly. All religions can trace back to the worship of the stars and the planets. The Jewish 7-branched candlestick are the 7 planets. The 7 archangels in the book of Enoch are the 7 planets. Revelation 1:12, the 7 stars are the 7 angels of the churches. Elohim is plural, and in the Bible it says, "Then the Elohim said, let us make humans in our image after our likeness." We are made in the image of the stars and the 7 planets. They are not planets, they are 7 cosmic energies that give us the understanding and the ability to function in this reality. Job 38:32, can you lead forth the Mazzaroth in its season? Do you know the audience of the heavens? Mazzaroth means 12 signs, meaning the 12 zodiac signs. The stars are the start of the solar system, not solar system. And we descend from the stars into the 7 planets, which give us the 7 energy centers in the body. You can repost my content and gain 50% commission. Send your email into the Telegram group. The link is in the bio for this PDF. Pineapple is man-made, acidic. Pears are alkaline. Apples, alkaline. Do not use the shiny ones, they are waxed. Instead, use the non-shiny. Seeded dates are alkaline. Big bananas are man-made, full of starch, acidic. If the oranges have seeds, alkaline. Cherries are alkaline. Strawberries, alkaline. Dragon fruit, acidic, man-made. Pomegranate is harmful, it's acidic, it's man-made. Seedless watermelons, acidic, man-made. Figs, alkaline. Papaya, alkaline. Bell peppers, alkaline. Garlic is toxic, acidic. Lettuce, acidic. Cucumber, alkaline. Tomatoes, alkaline, very high in iron. Gain the ability to shop with precision for products and foods that are beneficial for the human body. This human health guide grants you a key to revitalize your body and bring about the feeling of happiness and well-being. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Heel is hell, the root chakra. Head is heaven, earth rearranged is heart. The 3 parts of the brain control the 3 sections of the body. Depending on which brain is dominant, you are either manifesting heaven or hell. If you're thinking with your gut area all the time, you are manifesting hell. The devil has goat features, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is an air animal. The angel is your higher self, the devil is the lower self. Hence why the devil is red, because red is the lowest vibrational color. The devil is the deveiling, because you are mental, astral, etheric, and physical. You are deveiling yourself by sitting in the lower states of consciousness. The body does not live. It is only maintained by the consciousness that is within it. And this consciousness is either operating in hell or heaven, depending on the 3 brains that you use dominantly. You descended from spirit into matter. Now you need to go back up to your true spirit form and move up the stairway to heaven, which is your spine. They've externalized it and turned it into a religion to hide the true power of yourself. The square symbolizes the physical plane, the triangle is the etheric plane, and the circle is the eternal plane. You need to think outside the box. The box is the cross unfolded, the cube, the physical world. The Christians believe 144,000 will go to heaven. This is actually a frequency you need to achieve to go from the root to the crown chakra, because your head is heaven and your heel is hell. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom PDF. The chakras are not what you think. They are 7 vortexes which our consciousness feeds into our physical body. You have a mental, astral, etheric, and physical body. They exist within the etheric plane, which binds your spirit to your physical form. Hence why in the Bible they are known as the 7 seals. It states the lamb is worthy of opening the 7th seal, because the lamb is Aries and Aries rules the head region to open the 7th seal, the 7th chakra. They're called the 7 seals because they seal your universal intelligence, your invisible consciousness. Stop working on your chakras and work on your mind, because your mind is the reason why your chakras are being abused or unbalanced. Each chakra has a vice which you need to turn to a virtue in order for them to be balanced. Saturn, Satan, the devil. This is why the devil's always red, because it's the root chakra, which is low frequency. This is to do with your survival. You descended from spirit to matter. Now you need to climb the stairway to heaven, which is your spine, and go from matter to spirit. Heaven is even. This is why Jesus is pointed at the heart chakra, which is the balance point. When your vortexes are balanced, you have a deeper connection with your universal intelligence. Your higher self will have an easier job manifesting itself throughout the body. The world is stuck in the lower 3 energy centers: lust, food, and power. Instead, we want to aim to use the higher parts of the body: expression, intuition, and wisdom. Jesus and Satan do not exist. Jesus and Satan do not exist. It's a metaphor for the war between your consciousness and your body. Religion is a scam. Your body desires lust, food, and power, but your consciousness wants love, expression, intuition, and wisdom. They've externalized the truth so that you think that you are your body, which is hell, heel. The church is a business, and it's to keep you in your lower states of consciousness so that they can control you. Every religious text has an exoteric and an esoteric meaning. Exoteric is what is taught to the public, which is external. The esoteric is the internal teachings of the scriptures. Jesus and Satan, Horus and Set, the devil and the angel on your shoulder. The reason why religions have so much in common is because they're all different ways of metaphorically talking about the battle between your consciousness and your physical body. They want you to believe that you're physical, to hide all the different dimensions of yourself: mental, astral, and etheric. When you give praise to external gods with outside of you, you are giving your energy into the astral plane. They're literally summoning your energy within their spirit realm. Because of religion, when you empty the mind and focus on your internal self, you attract energy to you, which can be used to create your life. We are all God in disguise. Our consciousness is God, but the body is of this world. Why do you think the side of your head regions are called temples? Because the head region is the temple of God, the temple of your consciousness. This book will tell you everything you need to know. The link is in my... Television is tele-vision. You turn on the television, you get programs. They reprogram your subconscious mind, which manifests 90% of your daily basis behavior and thought patterns. This is the hidden part of the mind, which manifests your heart to beat without you being conscious of it. Broadcasting is casting spells to a broad audience. North, east, west, and south. News. Your devices, the devil's vice, are black mirrors, which were black obsidian mirrors which were used to communicate with the astral plane. Your life is a direct manifestation of your mind. This is why you need to take care of what you see, say, and hear. Govern, ment. Ment means mind. Govern the mind. The devil is red because it's the lowest vibrational color, which is the root chakra. The root chakra is all to do with survival mode. In order for you to survive, you will kill and be in your animal nature. This is why the so-called devil has a goat head. The same goat you see in the music industry. This is why you call them the goat. They have not sold their soul to Satan. Satan is a demonic energy within the astral plane. These have exchanged money in order for them to portray and manifest negative energy through the music, so that they keep you in your lower states of consciousness in the root chakra. Music is frequency, and whatever you listen to, you are becoming that frequency. And the words that they say in the music are staying within your subconscious mind, which manifests your behavior. The devil's tail is a triangle pointing down because it's a part of your Merkaba, ascension and descension. Devil's tail is the downward triangle. Your Merkaba is your light body. Mer equals light, Ka equals spirit, Ba equals body. Merkaba. It's your celestial sphere to portray different planes of reality. The devil's tail is the descension. Your head is heaven, your heel is hell. God, your consciousness is in the brain. If you have this PDF, I've added new pages. Just re-download it. The link is in the bio. These CIA documents reveal that thought waves can become a physical particle. Thoughts manipulate your universal hologram, which is your electromagnetic field. This proves that we are in a three-dimensional construct, which is a holographic world, and your thoughts and emotions manipulate this three-dimensional construct. You literally create your own reality based off your thoughts. You are an invisible consciousness, which is controlling this physical avatar, which manipulates the holographic construct of the external world through your thoughts and emotions. The things you own in life, the friends you have, are all reflections of your past thoughts. You are a result of your thoughts. The elites know this knowledge, and this is why they keep you on the lowest vibration possible so that you manifest the worst possible reality. This is why they're called a government. Ment means mind. They govern your mind through information. Your information is your perception, and your perception is your reality. The word of the day is, people, you can get anything you want in this life just by working and changing your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, further down the line, your external world will change because your external world mirrors your thoughts. We are literally in a holographic game, people. Words are secretly encoded, and they cast spells on your subconscious mind because your subconscious mind takes everything you say as diet has the word die because the food they tell you to eat nowadays makes you sick. Meat has the word eat, which is a subconscious spell for you to consume blood and flesh because consuming this food keeps you stuck in third-dimensional awareness, in the lowest state of consciousness. Veganism is an anagram for saving me because when you stop consuming flesh, your consciousness can raise past the 3D construct. Animals are easily programmed and tamed like a pet, and this is why they want you to consume it, because you are what you eat. Your cells every 90 days turn into the food that you've consumed. This is why the population is aging at a rapid rate, because the food that we are consuming is dead. When we eat electrical live foods, we age less. Slaughter has the word laughter because they want you to laugh at the slaughtering of animals. Words create perception, and the food industry utilize more neutral words to create a better perception in your mind. Instead of saying beef flesh, they say beef mince. Or instead of saying a chicken fetus, they say egg. Or rotten cheese is milk. Illnesses exist on a low frequency. When we consume low vibrational foods, we lower our frequency to match the illnesses. If you have something wrong with your body, it's more than likely that you have an acidic-based environment. Bacteria can thrive in an acidic-based environment. We need to raise our frequency and turn to the alkaline environment in order to heal our body. If I have anything wrong with my body, I'll do 2 weeks with one fruit to cleanse the digestive system. Then I'll go on a fast, only consuming water and herbal teas. When your digestive system is inactive, the energy used to digest food can be used to heal the body. Mother Nature provides you with everything to survive and thrive, and the king knows this. Veganism rearranged is saving me, because when you consume meat, you are consuming adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is the blood from a petrified, slaughtered being. It contains fear hormones. You descended from spirit to matter. Now you need to climb the stairway to heaven, which is your spine, and go from matter to spirit. The chakras are not what you think. They are 7 vortexes which our consciousness feeds energy into our physical body. You have a mental, astral, etheric, and physical body. They exist within the etheric plane, which binds your spirit to your physical form. Hence why in the Bible they are known as the 7 seals. It states the Lamb is worthy of opening the 7th seal, because the Lamb is Aries, and Aries rules the head region to open the 7th seal, the 7th chakra. They're called the 7 seals because they seal your invisible consciousness. Heaven is even. This is why Jesus is pointed at the heart chakra, which is the balance point. When your vortexes are balanced, you have a deeper connection with your universal intelligence. Your higher self will have an easier job manifesting itself throughout the body. The world is stuck in the lower 3 energy centers, lust, food, and power. Instead, we want to aim to use the higher parts of the body, expression, intuition, and wisdom. Veganism rearranged is saving me because consuming electrical foods feeds your spirit, which is your spiral. Your spiraling electromagnetic field, because you're a biological battery, hence why you get charged in a court. Every cell in your body every 90 days transforms into the foods that you've been eating. Consumption of rotten flesh has no electromagnetism behind it. The fruit is electric and full of light. Lions' intestines are shorter. Our teeth are not made to rip open flesh. Meat-eating animals only live up to 15 years. Vegan animals live up to 40 years. Why do you think the Bible talks about humans living over 500 years? All of the geniuses of the past were all vegan. Humans possess a trichromatic vision, which means we are pretty much attracted to seek colors naturally because our brains are wired to seek colorful food. Each animal and every being has specific qualities in its DNA. For example, bears are ferocious and strong. Camels have the ability to walk thousands of miles, and cats are majestic and sneaky. When you eat these animals, you are eating the virtues of that animal. You literally are what you eat. Meat is flesh, cheese is rotten milk, and eggs are fetuses. These terms have been created to conceal the true nature of what you are actually consuming. Stop eating when the sun is setting. When you chew, chew until it becomes a liquid. Your digestive system can't digest chunks of food. The sun powers your digestive system and your body. When the sun is not present and you eat something, this is going to cause problems within your digestive system. Stop mixing foods. Mixing animal flesh with potato and bread will cause the food to solidify within your stomach, leading to constipation and the birth of parasites within your body. Acne is undigested food coming through your skin. The digestive system cannot digest all of the toxins, so it has to find a way out and it comes through the skin. Your cells are electric, your brain is electric, your central nervous system is electric, and you are electromagnetic. The body runs off electricity. It is an electrical machine. Therefore, your body and your cells needs to be charged by electric food, which is grown under the electric sun. Sun's rays crystallize within the food that is grown underneath the sun. This is why you can see the glowing aura of an apple compared to a slice of flesh. This is dead. You do not want dead things within your body. It will not charge you. Your teeth are not made to rip open flesh. Veganism rearranged is saving me. And your intestines are not like a lion's or a dog's. All the legends in the past knew this, and this is why they were all vegan. The number one mistake that you make is that you think they wear jewelry just because they are rich. Firstly, the crowns are made out of gold and other gemstones like crystals, which all contribute to amplifying the frequency of your energetic field. Usually they wear purple to symbolize royalty. They wear this on the head because the head is connected to your crown chakra, your highest state of consciousness, which is purple. A lot of ancient cultures used to be decked out in jewelry. They used to hold canes with metal on the bottom and the top because the earth produces magnetic energy, and by grounding, you are actually amplifying your field. When the body is producing a high frequency because of the amplified field, they would be able to sync up with a higher consciousness. This is why you should fill your spaces with precious metals and crystals, because the atoms that create these metals and gemstones are resonating on a high frequency. I have a few of these orgonite technology necklaces left. If you want one, the link is in the bio. My new favorite thing to do is to show you how powerful you are. We are intelligently designed. The eyes contain 137 million cells within 1 square inch in the retina. To put this into perspective, this is 1 million dots and this is 1 square inch. And this is your retina. Your retina consists of 137 million cells. They say this is because of evolution, which is just another theory created by Charles Darwin, a Freemason. Everything physical you see comes from the invisible. Everything you see in the physical plane was manifested by the mind. The phone that you are holding was an idea in someone's mind before they manifested it physically. So therefore, the whole physical world that you see exists within the mind of God. Essentially, we are all existing in the mind of God, and we are all God fractured into separate bodies. This is why Michelangelo painted God within the brain, because the pineal gland is the connection to the mind, which is the divine or God. And one more thing before you go, if you don't believe in God, then you are delusional, because this painting was painted by a painter. Therefore, this physical world was manifested from the mind of God, and we are a microcosm of that mind, and we can use our minds to create things within God's creation. We are made in His image. We are a fracture. If you believe in evolution and know God, debate me in